Hello, my friends. Not my normal night, and kind of the old place that we used to be live all the time. But I wanted to be sure that you didn't miss this, and a lot of you haven't come to the new page yet. I'll post the new links below, so don't worry about that now. But we're going to make cards tonight. But there's one other thing I want to tell you about super quick. I talked about this on Monday, but when you place a $35 order on my Stampin' Up site, you will get in the mail a packet of the cards, the make and take cards that I shared this week. But I don't want you to order till tomorrow, because tomorrow Stampin' Up is having a huge 24-hour 15% off stamp sets. Not bundles with dies, stamp sets from the annual catalog. And there are so many. If you are on the mailing list, you got a list of them today. You can simply go to my shopping site tomorrow and look for them. The important thing you want to remember is when you order to use the host code. That way it triggers a note to me to say, hey, send him the cards. Okay? All right, cool. So what are we making? All the details will be in the blog so that you can go later and read them. Remember, the blog is right there, easy to find. It's not there now. It'll be there probably tomorrow morning, and then you can check them all out. All right, let's get down, because I want to make cards. I don't want to yap the whole time. So I hope that you are excited to try this. I told you at the beginning, this is the reason, this is honestly what brought me back to Stampin' Up, and I don't know why. I just think it's the coolest thing ever. I love everything about this entire suite. The stamp set, the dies, the designer's area papers to die for, and all my colors, right? So a couple of things that I share with you. There is a supply list that shares everything I use tonight. Now, you don't have to copy it exactly, but if, like me, you want to know what I used, I put everything in the list. That is in the tutorial, which is actually 3 pages long. And the tutorial comes along with your card set. So if you place an order this week, you have to do it by Friday, which doesn't give you much time. It's a short week. Usually they have the whole week to do it. This is what you'll get. You'll get it won't be stamped. It'll be like this. You will get all these pieces pre-cut, ready to go. Hey, Lana. You'll get the instruction PDF and the envelopes that you need to make those 3 cards. Okay? That will come in the mail to you. So, what do the cards look like? Well, I didn't put them together because I want to make them with you. They're kind of here, but they're not really. So we're going to start with this guy first. And the first thing you're going to want is, whoops, I just dropped a piece. Of course I did. This card is done not with a normal white card base. This is done with Old Olive. And remember, to get your card base, you start with a full sheet, 8.5 by 11. You cut it in half, and you score it at 4 1/4. You cut it at 5.5 this way on the long edge. All right, but if you get these kits in the mail, this is already done for you. I did all the work, so that you can just make cards. This is a piece of designer series paper. This is one of the patterns in this set. They're so cool. And this one, I have to look at my directions because I don't remember the sizes off the top of my head. We are doing this one. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And we talked about that on Monday night, how to do a whole bunch of these so that you have a pack and ready to go. See, like, let me show you. Like these. Like this was all the paper cut from this paper pack. Hey, Jeanette. So, I mean, look at how cool they are. They're double-sided. There's these sweet little patterns with the animals, mushrooms on this side, and then on this side, it's tiny little prints. Both are amazing for your card making. All right, so this is going to go here. We're going to put that down right there. And clearly you could use either side of the paper, but I went with this side. And you're going to center this right on your card front, like so. Then in your pile, you're also going to find a piece, you're going to have 2 pieces of basic white. And you need a piece that is, I just realized it's not on there. I missed that one. This is where you're going to stamp a little seam. I'll add it, don't worry. It's in there, but I didn't tell you about it. I think I know. Yeah. Okay. It is 2 3/4 for those of you following along by 4 1/4. Save this other piece though, because we're going to use that for stamping and dies and what have you. And this, I'm going to take these sweet little stamps that are part of the Happier Than Happy. I am going to use the stump. I don't need the welcome. I need the stump. I need the grass. I need the tree. And I need the owl. Okay? The fox we're going to do a little bit different. All right. So I'm going to just show you how to do this. Now I picked 4 different ink colors. Again, you can use whatever you like. You don't have to use that. Calypso Coral coordinates with it. The Crumb Cake is just a really good bear color or fox color. Smoky Slate and Old Olive. All right. So first I'm going to take my Old Olive and I'm going to ink up my grass, and I'm going to do 3 stamps of this, 2 at the same level. But when you notice the stamp set, you'll notice that it looks like different colors in the shading. That's already built in for you. So cool. And then this one, I just kind of went down a little bit. So it kind of looks like grass rolling along. Then I took my stump and I stamped that in the Crumb Cake. Or you could use soft suede. Those are both really good choices for a tree stump. And the same kind of thing, you're going to see that the tree stump looks shaded and ideas. And I put this one right here, right? Now, he's a little bit above my grass, which isn't really what I want. Looks kind of floating, so I'm just going to come back with this. And he's fine. Just kind of stamp over him a little bit. Add a little bit more grass. You're making your own scene, so there's no right or wrong way to do it. Then I need the tree. Now the tree also has a coordinating die, but I didn't use that this time. I just used it in the background. And the tree's actually going to look like it's floating, but I'm going to put a fox on top of it, so it's not going to, but I want to make sure that it shows above the fox. So that's going to go right there. Looks kind of weird right now, but see, we've got this cute little fox to go on top. Then we have the owl. And the owl is going to be gray. I don't know if that's what color an owl is, but my owl is going to be gray. And I put him on the, I'm using the same block. And he's going to sit right on the stump. There he is. And now I'm all set. I just need to add my fox. Now the fox, you're going to take this scrap piece of paper, the other half of this. This is going to go here. You're going to take the other half of this, and you're going to stamp your fox. And I did him in Crumb Cake. Was kind of thinking afterwards I probably could have added a little Calypso Coral to make him a red fox. Oh, let's try it. We've got a brown one. Let's try a red one. I don't know, he might be too pink. but let's try it. What I'm going to do with him is I want this color because it's going to kind of brighten up my stamp. But I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take, I thought I had a piece of scrap paper here. I did. I'm going to take my scrap paper, right, and I'm going to stamp off. Oh, he's not too bright at all. He'll be perfect. Never mind. Not going to stamp off. I like him that color. So he looks kind of red foxish. And I'm going to put him right here. Oh, look how cool he looks. I actually like him way better than the brown fox. Okay. Then I put him in here so I'd know where they were. This is the bundle. So I have the coordinating dies. Remember, I use these little post-it flags to hold the dies in place so they don't slip around on me. That's just me. And I'm gonna move. Now you notice I just moved stuff over here, which means I'm not gonna know where it is in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna ask you what I did with it. I'm gonna bring this over. Now, if you have the mini die cut machine, these dies all fit in that. And truthfully, I love the mini because it works so much better, but I don't have it here. They work the same. I shouldn't say that. They don't work better. It's just little, so it doesn't take up as much room. I love that. So I'm going to, and remember, these tell you exactly where to put everything and how to do it. And you don't have to, like, oh, I can't find that one. It's all right here. And it tells you. Use with thin dies. I'm going to use 1, 2, and 2 3s. All right. So there's 1. Here's 2. And now 2 3s. Right? Well, they're backwards. 2 3s. So I'm going to put you in here. I'm going to do this. Whoops, I moved him around. Get back, Mr. Fox. Stay in place. Don't be shifty. I think foxes are shifty, right? Sly and shifty, that's them. Okay. And then run him on through. Oops, sorry, it wiggles you guys a little when I do it on this table. All right. Fold this up. And move it over here. And now, I told you I would move everything and I wouldn't know where it was. Mr. Fox. And save the rest of this because there's other things you're going to want to cut out. All right. So save that paper. Okay, let's put this together now. So this goes right here. Right? And then Mr. Fox needs some dimensionals, which is just going to pop him off the page a little so he looks even cooler. And he's going to go like that, and he's going to cover up the base of the tree. And he's part of the scene that we just made. I want him kind of sniffing out the owl. I hope foxes don't eat owls. And then you also have this strip, and in one of the other dies is this great little tag, stitched tag. It's so pretty, and I drop it on the floor every time. It's this one, right? So the 3 little sentiments, welcome, thanks, and hello baby, fit in here, right? I'm going to use the one I already did, so I don't have to do it again. But you stamp, run it through the die machine, glue it on down, and then you're going to take your snips and you're simply going to cut across the length that you want. Whoever gets this kit, it's already done for you. And then you pick a spot in the middle. And then you go from this corner to the middle and this corner to the middle. And that gives you your little pennant flag. Good to go. And then you're going to put welcome right on it. Okay? All right. And I'm going to dimensional this one too, because you can never have too many of these. You guys are super quiet. And then that is going to go right there at the top. So there's that card. You can add a little bling to it if you want, some extra sparkle, little wink of Stella, but that's the card. Remember, the name of this group and the name that I'm focusing on is Simple Pretty Cards. Not a ton of, you don't have to do a ton of really crazy embellishment things that make you nuts, okay? All right, so then let's do this guy. And this guy is all about the designer series paper. He truly is. Again, you're going to start with the card base, only this time it's basic white. I use the thick. And then I have a piece of smoky slate, and it's this one, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which makes it a little, almost the size of the front of the card. You still have a little bit of a white behind you, but not a lot, okay? A little bit. So we're gonna, why am I having such a hard time? Okay. And that goes here. Right? Leave yourself a little bit. What I love about it is I don't need to measure it. I can eyeball that. That I can handle. Then we've got this piece of designer series paper, which has the trees in it, the grass. It's already got the design. I don't even have to do anything. This one is 3 3/4 by 5 because I want to see the gray behind it. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to pop this down. I get a little bit bigger frame around it, right? And then I have Mr. Bear. And I did Mr. Bear in smoky slate and then used the dot. Doesn't he look great? All shadowy, different shading. The stamp did that. One stamp and it did it. I didn't have to do anything tricky. Just stamped him with smoky slate and I got that. And I have some dimensionals already on the back of him by the magic of TV. The little tip for today is don't drop these on the floor. Try and put them right in the trash, or you will end up with them on the bottom of your foot, in the dog's hair, everywhere. And Mr. Bear is going to be walking by right there. And then you've got another small piece of smoky slate that's 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, and a piece of basic white that's 1 1/2 by 2, and it's happier than happy for you. And that is just going to go right on the smoky slate, and I'll tell you why. If you just pop it down here, it kind of gets lost. If you give it its own little frame, it kind of steps it up a little. Now it looks even more important, because it is. And then I'm going to tuck it under the corner of my bear's ear. Now, if you don't like, I kind of wish Mr. Bear was a little bit lower. I'm going to move him down. And you can. You get a little bit of spare time to move him. Not a lot, and you got to be careful, but you can move him down a little. Let me do it this way, because I want it to have this to have a shape. I want it to have a little bit of a frame, like so. All right, now when I put Mr. Bear on, I can make sure that he's not getting covered up. And there we go. Happier than happy for you, right? All right, 2 cards down. We have 1 more to go. This one's again, taking advantage of how cool this paper is. So we're going to start with our white card base. That's this picture here. We have a piece of Calypso Coral that is 4 by 5 1/4. Goes right there. I am struggling with the Seal Plus. Let me go to the other seal. It's a little too much for me. I don't need that. Seal Plus is great, but it's not good for this kind of, you just do little dabs with it. And I am definitely out of seal practice. So this is regular seal. Seal Plus is a stronger adhesive, which is great for bigger embellishments or something heavier duty. But this is really all you need for your card. I just got carried away. All right, so we're going to put that on there. I will tell you is that it is an adhesive that takes a little bit of practice. It does, but it works great once you get it. Then we have this, which has the bears, the owls, has a butterfly. Again, we have butterflies in the die set. We have a lot of little cute things you can add to this if you want, but simple and pretty. And we're going to pop this in the middle. This one is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Then we have this itty bitty little strip, but it looks cool. And that is going to go wherever your paper ends up. You don't want it to go through an animal. So I'm going to go just above the owl. But everyone's paper might be a little bit different when you cut it, because you're getting different sections of the 12 by 12. Run that across. Then we have the thanks. Remember I said they fit on that same sign as the welcome. And I put just a little rhinestone there. It does have a hole. So if you had some twine, you could do that. You could add that if you wanted. And I'm going to, hold off, I'm going to put my fox down first. And Mr. Fox is going to go right in the middle. And then you are going to go right here. So this one, you kind of go with where the paper is to figure it out. But see how cool this fox is? I think I like the Calypso Coral better. He's brighter. I don't hate the gray one, but okay. So that is it. 3 cards ready to go, and they're really different, really cute, I think. Taking advantage of this amazing designer series paper and the sweet little stamps. Okay? All right, so remember, you get this in the mail from me, all the things that you need, all those pieces, which I just moved and now I can't find them. You get all these pieces. Hey, Regan, thank you. You get all these pieces plus your envelopes in the mail from me when you place a $35 order this week. But I'm telling you, look tomorrow. Go look and see the list. The list, if you're on the mailing list, it's there. If you're not on the mailing list, make sure that you get there so you don't mix the next one. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.